So what are your thoughts on the extent to which it's used with a wink and a nod for big money in advertising, yet still criminalized?
I think it's a totally disgusting thing that Madison Avenue, advertisers, consumer product companies, soft good companies, hard good companies use this art form and are hypocritical when it comes to standing up for the legal side of this art form. Totally hypocritical. It's totally disgusting to me. It shows that they are solely opportunists, that they care not about the actual people that do the artwork, that they do not care about the art form. They only care about the bottom line, and that they only care about lining their pockets with more money. It is indicative of how this country is run. It is indicative of what's happening on a broader level in this country and the world, where capitalism can do whatever the hell they want, businesses can do whatever the hell they want, and the common people mean nothing. And so, although I've worked with many of these companies have not stepped up and said, hey, you know what, we got your back. The individuals that work within these companies have absolved themselves, for the most part, from any involvement with me. Not everybody, but for the great majority. And I think it shows that these companies are two-faced. They don't care about this movement, and they're only trying to milk us. And when artists go in and work with these companies, they should realize that they're disposable and that nobody really cares about them, and that they want to get over. And it's maybe people should think about working with these companies, because they're really just getting over on the movement, and they don't really give back. Okay, so they pay an artist for a little logo job or something, but what about the bigger thing? What about activism? What about when people really need help? What about funds, or funding art programs, or funding education, or funding these kind of things? Few and far between are the companies that get involved with that. I mean, I could count them in one hand, the ones that might actually get involved. And even then, they're still hypocritical, because they'll get involved with it if they could co-opt it and make it something legal that makes it cool for them, but they won't stand up and say, you know what, illegal graffiti is part of the essence of protesting in this country, or part of the essence of young people and what they do, in a form of communication that should be accepted, or at least shouldn't be punishable with prison time, and how it's being punished. They won't do that. No company has yet stepped up and said that they are down, or that they support that kind of activity. They're scared. They're scared of losing stockholder shareholder value, or whatever they're scared of. And it's bullshit.
It's funny, because if they were really opportunistic, the first company that came aboard and created the Alan Ket Legal Defense Fund would have viral repercussions in the best sense for them, I would think.
I would imagine that that's the case, and I would imagine that because of my financial need, I would even allow myself to be exploited in that way, but that has not happened. However, it's up to me to actually structure that, and we'll see. I'm going to be structuring some type of activism fund, and an organization that tries to work to change the nature of what's happening. And I'm going to approach these people that want to make money off of it, and see if they're really going to tell me to my face that they're not going to give back. And then they'll just be put on blast, so at least the consumer knows that they're dealing with companies that are hypocritical, and that really are just exploiting artists, and they can give a shit about what really happens to regular people.
But you also walk that fine line. You made a healthy living at times from these corporations, who did, in fact, turn their back on you during your tenure with these corporations. Did you take any opportunity to sort of do the kinds of things that might have helped someone like you out in the long run, or maybe it's just a hard lesson learned now?
I think it's a hard lesson learned. I mean, I've painted illegally. I can't say that I haven't. I have, right? I'll be honest. In my life, I'm a graffiti writer or a style writer. I've done that, and actually, I think it's a fine thing to do. That's a different conversation. I've worked for corporations before and helped them bridge the gap between street artists or writers and their ability to acquire artwork. I've done that. I thought I was doing a good thing at a certain point in time, because I was providing writers like myself an opportunity to make income off of something that they love, so that they could have revenue and money, so they could continue to do what they like to do. At no time did I judge them for painting illegally or legally or whatever. I just gave opportunity to people who've been paying dues to make money. And I thought that was a good thing, except now that sometimes I think because the same companies that have been able to come out and make money off of those riders who are in the trenches refuse to back them up when there's need. Even if the riders don't call for the help, they don't step up. I think it's problematic to work with some of these companies. I do think it's problematic. And I also think it's problematic that the institutions, forget about corporations, institutions that are art institutions, the MoMA, all these institutions that collect this art, that have some of these art in their permanent archives, also don't step up.
Have you approached them?
I have not approached any of them, but I'm pretty vocal, I'm pretty out here. I'm not the first guy that's been arrested for anything related to writing and graffiti. I've never seen any of those people step up and do anything related to, forget about the preservation, but to the defense of artists. It just doesn't happen. And I think that there's a separation with, with the legal world and the justice and that part of the world, and institutions that are just in it to make money. There isn't necessarily that kind of support. And we need that kind of support from art institutions. We need that kind of support from, corporations. We need that kind of support from collectors. We need that kind of support from other artists. By and large, the support that I've, received has been by individuals who think like me, and they're in the thousands, right? I think that there's individuals like that within corporations, within institutions. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're too busy. I don't know. But we need those people to step up and help, not only with my case, but with future cases. And I need them to contact me.
Has Echo come aboard to defend you?
Echo has come aboard and has been a supporter during this process. To a degree. I mean, as a private individual, not as a corporation. I've done work with those guys before, so one or two of the employees of the company have been supportive and have helped out. And it's because we're friends, and lots of my friends have come out and been supportive. But no corporation, has come out and been supportive. Zero. Hasn't happened.